Hello and welcome to this week's YouTube video. Paint the background or don't paint the background? Which should you do and how do you ensure it looks realistic? In today's video, I will be answering this question using this recent dog commission and giving you some tips for success that you'll be able to use in your own work. So let's get into the video and I will speak about what I am doing as I go along. Firstly, let's answer the question on how you decide whether to paint in a background like I have here, or perhaps to just fill it with some loose brushwork. If your object is attached to its background in some way, then paint it in. Here my dog is resting its head on the windowsill. The light reflects this, with my dark values down here and my lighter values in the face. If I remove the background, the positioning of the head and its values would look odd because it is so integrated into its background. Therefore, I paint it as it is per my reference photo. Had my dog not been attached to its background in any way, I would not paint it in, but would choose the average value that was present in my photo. Generally, I keep the temperature the same, but may change the colour. The second most important thing when painting in backgrounds are your edges. These are super important and you must consider whether your edges will be hard, soft or lost. If you paint in all hard edges, the painting will look a bit cartoon-like. All soft edges will make it look too romantic. All lost edges will make it look just odd. You need a variety of all of these and where you choose to put them is really important. Let's have a look at my palette. I am using cadmium yellow light, yellow ochre light, transparent yellow oxide, cadmium red, alizarin crimson, transparent red oxide, ultramarine deep, titanium zinc white and burnt umber. I've mixed up a few extra colours, a black red and a black green. When I mix these two together, I get my rich black, a purple, two oranges and another green. I am also mixing up a number of colourful greys. These are this purple plus cadmium yellow plus white and this green plus orange plus white. Both these mixes will give me a grey and I can adjust the temperatures easily by adding more of my warmer colours to make them more yellow and more of my cooler colours to make my grey cooler. These are my base greys. I always start with these two mixes and then adjust my colours where I need to. For example, if I swap my yellow for yellow ochre light, this will give me a warmer grey. Or I could swap my cadmium red for alizarin crimson and this will give me a cooler grey. Notice that windowsill also uses the same colour combinations of purple and yellow plus white. Now I've talked about my palette, let's look at how I've dealt with my edges. How do you decide which edge should be hard, soft and lost? The easiest way is to squint at your reference photo. If you can still see the edge really prominently, then it will be a hard edge. Also look at the value changes. Here I have a light value going into a dark value, so the reality is my edge will most likely be hard. And lastly, look at your object. What are the important parts? Here it's this area. The top of the ear and the detail down here less so. It doesn't actually give us any important information in interpreting what we are seeing. This will help you with your hard edges. What about your soft and lost edges? Where you have an edge next to a shadow area like I have here, you can experiment on how much you want to lose the edge. For example, I could have lost this edge around here more than I did. It's just really personal taste. This edge down here was much harder in my reference photo, but painting it as it was in the photo made my painting look a bit cartoony, so I had to lose it, especially in this area here. It was a bit of trial and error. A lot of painting is done by eye. If an area distracts your eye and it's not an important area, then your edge is too hard. What is the best way to lose or soften an edge? There are a few different ways to do it. Number 1, add a bridging colour. You can see I've added a yellow purple along this edge here. This helps soften that edge as it has graduated the value from dark to light. Number 2, use some medium in your paint like linseed oil. Use this selectively in areas where you want the paint to be more pliable. Where you want more control, don't use it. Number 3, use a wet, long-haired soft brush with a little paint added to it. Use something like Gamsol to wet your brush and add a little light paint. Then brush over your painting, pulling one edge into another. Be careful with this method as it will start removing paint after the first pass. Lastly, I should mention that windowsill. I just need to suggest it rather than copy it exactly. Therefore, I have reduced the values and used a very narrow range. You'll see this if I turn the painting into black and white. I've also used soft edges in the area behind the dog, but have hard edges down here. And that is it, the finished painting. I hope you've enjoyed today's video and found it useful. Please like and subscribe if you can, and check out my website sarahhallidayart.com, where you will find examples of my work and also details of online classes that I run. Thank you for watching and see you for the next one.